Welcome to GabTalks, where we provide tools, tips, and techniques to help your life and business be easier, better, and faster. Hello, hello. How are you? Welcome to the next episode of GabTalks Success Tips from Experts. I'm Gabriella, and today I am bringing to you a really cool expert, Robert Nahas. Hey, Robert, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining me. You have some really interesting things to share with our audience today. Such an incredible background. Will you please just jump right in and tell us about your expertise?
For the last 20 years, I have been a professional book writer, writing books for others. And basically, I'll help entrepreneur-minded people, professional athletes, doctors, etc., to write their own books and to have their information go out to the world. So it's pretty exciting. It's a lot of fun.
And I know you can't really tell us who most of those folks are, but before we were hitting record, you mentioned there were some pretty interesting people that you've gotten to meet and work with over the years. Will you tell us a little bit about that and some of your background that led you to where you are today?
Yeah, it is. My job is a fun job because of all the people I meet. And give you an idea, I actually have worked with a rocket scientist, which is funny. And my line of work does open the door to meeting some fascinating people. Some of them are, top-notch athletes. Others are world-renowned doctors and so on. So it's has to do with that line of work. And I really feel blessed about that.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh. I wish I had such an interesting story too. But the whole point of these interviews is so that our audience can realize that they too can have a similar story. And I'm on my own path to having such interesting people to talk to, like yourself as well.
I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I've had a long string of things that I've tried to do and so forth. But I'm an artist at heart, and so I found myself in different ventures and thinking, I really need to be creative. And so I decided to be more true to myself and went on that path. And it's like when you're a kid growing up, you look at the things that you're good at and say, geez, I like doing that, and I could do that, right? And so one of them was writing for me. And in school, I would be validated by my teachers and so on, which was really encouraging. So when push came to shove, and I was halfway through my life in my 40s, and I was really just starting over, and I decided with some practicality, I like to paint, I like to sculpt, but if I have to paint, that's creating paintings, they have to dry, and then I have to have enough paintings to have a showing, and that's not practical. I have a family, I have mouths to feed. So I just saw writing as a really practical way that I felt that I could really enjoy my job and do something important for the world by bringing information to individuals, how to become successful with your money, by writing a book with an expert or for an expert, or how to lose weight or how to be healthy or whatever it was, that I felt like I could make an impact with my life by doing that. And so the combination of feeling I had the like, okay, I could do this, and then just starting, and here I am 20 years later with 60 books under my belt, and my company that writes books as well. So
What's really cool about that is a number of people that are listening to this episode right now are pivoting or shifting their careers. I mean, we are post-pandemic. How many people had no choice but to shift, or how many people realized that they didn't want to do what they were doing and shifted? You did it 20 years ago, but what was cool about it is you said you were 40. There's so many people that are in their second and their third and their fourth careers that can resonate with what you just said. You mentioned earlier when we were talking before we hit record that you had a book that was really influential to you when you were in school.
as a kid, I really didn't like reading. So I was the unlikely or accidental writer, really. And I picked up, it was part of our English reading. I think it was a choice I had. So I read Mutiny on a Bounty, and I could not put that book down. And it was
Mm.
just so fascinating to me, the experience that people had on the ship, and Captain Bligh, and then Tahiti, and and so forth. So I just became engrossed in this story, which was based on truth. I think that that had a big part in where I am today as a writer.
Absolutely. How cool is that? Hello, hello, awesome listener. Thank you so much for joining us today at GabTalks Success Tips from Experts. We're going to take a short break and say thank you to our sponsors. It is through the generous support of these sponsors that we are able to bring to you these amazing experts that are sharing their best tips for your success. So please listen to what our sponsors have to say, and hopefully they're going to inspire you that you're going to click their links and go support them.
Is your computer secure? Is your personal information at risk? Global internet traffic is at an all-time high due to COVID, with mobile accounting for over half of it. Is your financial data under attack? People are on YouTube and Facebook and all over social media. Hackers are everywhere. Can you protect yourself? Tech Assist can help. I think I've been hacked. Help. Keep your personal data safe. Oh no, my computer isn't working. Abby and Dar are your answer.
It's time to take a vacation from processed foods. The ultimate lifestyle transformation kit will upgrade the way you look, feel, and perform, or will give you your money back, guaranteed. By taking a vacation from processed foods, you will detoxify your organs, cleanse your cells, and remove chemicals from your gut. And once you begin to nourish your cells and balance your hormones, you may notice increased energy, lower stress, deeper sleep, heightened mental clarity, improved digestion, and sexy lean muscle. Any of that sound interesting to you? You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. You already eat every day, and what you eat really matters. This is your chance to upgrade your food, upgrade your health, and upgrade your life.
So I always ask our experts, because I think this is one of those things that all of us can resonate with. If you were to go back and talk to that kid in school that was reading that book, what one piece of advice would you give?
Wow. I'd like to give a lot of advice, but if I were to pick one, I think that one should never listen to the negativity, because there's a lot of it, and it can even come from internal, because we can be our worst enemy, and our friends can sometimes be our worst enemy. So whether it's from a position of love or not, we run into negativity all the time. And so I would just say you have to just believe in yourself and realize with the excitement of what you want to do and remind yourself of that. I would say just ignore the negativity.
That is really good advice. I know that I deal with that all the time. And I don't know if you know, in my backstory, in 2016, I shifted from being an employee to being my own boss, and I hit a wall, and like an emotional wall. And I had a pivot and a shift out of being a really negative person into the more bubbly, positive person I am today. And I was bubbly and positive, but I was also really, really negative. And so the mindset matters in our logo is literally directly to that whole dealing with the negativity. And so today, when something negative comes my way, I take it, I look at it, I deal with it versus letting it take over my whole life. I love that advice. Yeah. So you guys, when you're listening to that and you want to see for yourselves how to pivot out of where you are and into something new, and your head is going down that path, like if Robert can do it, if I can do it, you also can. So Robert, will you share with us your best tips for success, and feel free to throw in some more of that really awesome advice.
Okay. So it's just really a willingness to try and try and try again, and just keep going. And also, I would say the biggest thing that I learned late in life was to trust in a mentor. I mean, I went from, I think when you're a go-getter, which we most of us are as entrepreneurs, right? We just
Yeah.
are. It's how we're wired. It can be a curse in some ways, because I would just do everything myself, and I was like, no, I don't need help or whatever. I can do it. I can do this. I got this, right? And for whatever reason, finally in my life, I decided to pay somebody an ungodly amount of money, and this person was very successful. So it's like, okay, they've achieved what I want to achieve, so I'm gonna go all in on this. And what I found to be true was that what would have taken me 10 years to do took me 10 months because of that guidance.
Wow.
So I was sold. Yeah. So from there on, I always had a mentor and became one myself as well.
And before we started, you told me you had a really interesting story about some things that weren't successful that you actually use in part of your mentorship and foundation for today's success.
We've all heard we become our best through adversity.
Yep.
If we're doing well, party on, just keep going. But it's when things don't go the way we planned or thought they would that we go, okay, and you start to reflect and figure out how to overcome that so it doesn't happen again. I have worked hard in my life, and I think we all do. And I just hit a point in my life where I had 18 years invested in a retail store that did so well until something happened where a big box store came in, I'll just put it that way, and just devoured Main Street, mom and pops. And we made more money that final year, and yet we ended up with less profit. And it's very, very saddening. And I have a story, and it almost brings me to tears sometimes. I'll be short about this. I remember I would say the lowest part of my life, and I would say career, was when I was chasing after the tow truck that just repossessed my car, yelling, please don't do this because I will now not be able to go anywhere. And store failed after so many years of just being in power. I mean, the things that we did were so successful, and then just within 3 years, it just all went away, right? So all that hard work, and then the interesting thing is you hear it and it sounds cliche and everything, but it's true. So I'm going to say it. When something like that, when you have failure, there is the opportunity, a new door to open. And I would have never gone to this 180 because my next step from that failure was to become a writer. So I would have never done it because I would have been too busy with the other thing. That really wasn't my gig. It wasn't really what I wanted to be. With adversity comes the opportunity to do something even better.
That is such an incredible story. And we hear those stories and we're like, yeah. But then when you meet somebody who's really, truly experienced it, and then you see the success that they achieve. I mean, you have written how many books in the last 20 years? And you also run a publishing company?
Yeah, I mean, about 60 books. And then, we write books, I have other writers too. And yeah, it is unbelievable. I kind of have to pinch myself. And anyone listening, I mean, if I could do it, like you said, then you could do it, because I had the negativity. I had everything. I felt like a failure. I've been up and down, and so there's nothing special about anyone other than the fact that we all are in the same boat. We all have the same package. We have our fears, we have our dreams, and so forth. And there's no doubt that anyone listening can achieve anything they want. It just takes just to keep going.
Absolutely. Absolutely. On each episode of GabTalks Success Tips from Experts, we like to highlight a hero sponsor who is a business that chooses to highlight a do-good organization in their own community that is bettering the world. Today's hero sponsor is...
Hello, I'm Dr. Anna Maria Belevin, founder and CEO of Prosperity Pathways, LLC. We get people their jobs of their dreams. We help them start a business or organization, and we even help them along their career pathway. It gives me great pleasure to bring to your attention and honor the hero of the moment, Onward and Upward. Onward and Upward does everything in its power to help those that are homeless, without jobs, without the use of their own computer, get back on their feet. They help people learn what it is that they need to do to get an online job, to get an on-site job. So Onward and Upward is giving a hand up to those that need it. Their website, onwardupwardinc.org. Get in touch with them if you need their help or if you would like to support them. Again, this is Dr. Anna Maria Oblivion, founder and CEO of Prosperity Pathways, wishing you a blessed day.
So listen, I think our audience would be very interested in finding out how they can find out more information from you, how they could learn about possibly having you do some ghostwriting for them or working with you to get them published. Will you share with them how they can reach out to you?
Yeah, I mean, we could write their book for them or could show them how to write their own book. So writerservices.net. So it's writerservices.net.
With an ER.
Right. That's my company's website. And there's a lot of great data there, free information about book editing and so forth, like all the different steps you need to do to create a great book. And yeah, that's the best place. And then I'm on LinkedIn. So you could Robert Nahas, Nahas, on LinkedIn. Feel free to reach out and connect with me. I'll connect with you to say, hey, I'd be happy to connect with you there. What else? There's Facebook where we have Writer Services LLC page. There's over 8,000 people there.
Yeah, the links will be down below for our audience. They can reach out to you directly and find out how they can talk to you. And when you reach out to him, do mention GabTalks, that you found Robert through GabTalks for sure. And then you have an offer for our audience as well.
I have a really great ebook. I had to practice what I preached. I say, you got to have a book in order to position yourself as an expert. So, like they say, the doctor's the worst patient. Well, I was I was not following, my own preaching. And so I wrote a really good book that can help anyone to understand better about the writing process and what it takes to either have your book written for you by a professional, or you can even take a little test that's in there to see whether you're equipped to write your own book or not, and a lot of other stuff. Yeah, it's just loaded. It's like 25,000 plus words. And so I am going to give that away to anyone who wants it.
Awesome. And you're going to make a link to that so that anybody who reaches out to you, that they came from GabTalks to get their copy of your ebook.
Right, because it's not free normally.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You guys are getting a really great deal. Whoa, how cool is that?
Yeah. So yeah, it'll be the link will be below, but it's going to basically be the website /GabTalks. And
awesome.
So it's a private link. And so anyone who goes there will just automatically be able to download.
There you go. All right. So you guys make sure you go down below, show notes, description, click the links, get a hold of Robert, reach out to him in LinkedIn, download that free ebook. And remember, it's not normally free, so you guys are getting a great deal. Make sure you click the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit your reminder so that you find out when our next episode is publishing. Hey, thanks so much for watching. We hope you got value today. We want to give a huge shout out of gratitude to our contributors. Please make sure you click the subscribe button below, and don't forget to click the bell up above to get reminders when we add new content.